You have probably met someone like this. They do not spiral when their partner needs space. They do not rehearse conversations in their head for hours before having them. When something bothers them, they say so, calmly, without it turning into a 3-day event. And when the relationship hits a rough patch, they don't immediately assume it's over. You watched them and thought, what is wrong with me? Why does this feel so easy for them and so exhausting for me? Nothing is wrong with you, but there is something they are doing that you are not, and it's not a personality trait they were born with. It's a set of behaviors that came from a specific kind of relational experience, which means it can be learned. Chapter 1. The core difference. Secure people are not people without fear. They're people whose fear does not run the relationship. When conflict arises, their first instinct is not to attack or disappear. It's to stay present and work through it. When their partner is distant, they don't automatically assume rejection. They can hold space for the possibility that something else is going on. When they have a need, they express it without dressing it up in 10 layers of apology first. This comes down to one thing. They trust that the relationship can handle honesty. That trust doesn't come from nowhere. John Bowlby, who founded attachment theory, established that early caregiving experiences create what he called an internal working model, a mental blueprint of what relationships are, how safe they are, and what you can expect from the people in them. Secure people, more often than not, grew up with caregivers who were consistent, who showed up, who repaired things when they broke, so their blueprint says, love is safe. Honesty will not destroy this. If your blueprint says something different, the good news is that blueprints can be rewritten. Here's how secure people behave and how you can start doing the same. Chapter 2. What they actually do. The first thing secure people do is repair quickly after conflict. They don't let arguments calcify into resentment. They don't wait for the other person to come back first as a measure of who cares more. When something goes wrong, they move toward resolution, not because they're conflict-free people, but because they're not afraid that bringing something up will permanently damage the connection. Psychologist John Gottman, whose research tracked thousands of couples over decades, found that the ability to repair after conflict is one of the strongest predictors of relationship longevity. Secure people repair early and often. They say, "That did not go well. Can we try again?" They don't treat every disagreement as evidence that the relationship is broken. You can practice this today. The next time you feel the urge to go cold after an argument, notice it. Then choose one small repair instead. A message, an acknowledgement, a return to the room. It doesn't need to be a full resolution. It just needs to signal that you're still in it. The second thing secure people do is communicate needs without making them demands. They say, "I've been feeling disconnected lately. Can we spend some time together this weekend?" They don't say nothing and then feel quietly resentful when the need goes unmet. They don't say everything in one explosive release after weeks of suppression. They speak early, plainly, and without attaching the relationship's survival to whether the need gets met. If you struggle here, start with lower stakes needs, not the deep ones yet. Just practice saying what you actually want in small moments. Build the muscle before the heavy lift. Chapter 3. The mindset underneath. Here is what makes all of this possible for secure people. They do not need the relationship to be perfect in order to feel safe in it. They can hold two things at once. This relationship has problems, and this relationship is still good. They do not catastrophize a bad week into a sign that everything is falling apart. Psychologist Susan Johnson, who developed emotionally focused therapy, describes secure attachment as having a safe base from which to engage with the world. Securely attached people carry that base internally. It means their sense of self does not collapse when the relationship goes through a difficult period. They can tolerate uncertainty without reading it as abandonment. This is where anxious and avoidant patterns break down. Anxious attachment reads turbulence as threat. Avoidant attachment reads closeness as threat. Secure attachment reads both turbulence and closeness as normal parts of a living relationship. You build this by accumulating relational evidence. Every time you express a need and the world does not end, the internal model updates. Every time you stay in a difficult conversation, instead of shutting down or escalating, the nervous system learns something new. It is slow, but it compounds. Chapter 4. The thing most people miss. Secure people are not endlessly available. They are not self-sacrificing. They are not conflict avoiders wearing a calm mask. They have boundaries. They say no. They leave relationships that are genuinely not working. What makes them different is that they don't tolerate everything. It is that they can tell the difference between a relationship that is hard right now and a relationship that is fundamentally wrong for them. Most insecurely attached people cannot make that distinction clearly because their nervous system is too activated to read the situation accurately. Everything feels like a crisis, or nothing does, because they've gone numb to protect themselves. Researcher Mario Mikolincer, whose work examines how attachment patterns affect perception, found that securely attached people process relational information more accurately under stress. They are less likely to misread neutral behavior as hostile, less likely to dismiss genuine warning signs. Their perception is cleaner because their system is not distorting the data. You get there by doing the work of regulation first. When you are calm, your read on the relationship is more accurate. When you are activated, you are not seeing the relationship, you are seeing your history. Secure people are not lucky, they are not built differently. They have simply had more experiences or done more work that taught them love does not have to be survived. You can learn what they know. Not overnight, but one honest conversation, one early repair, one expressed need at a time. The relationship you want is not out of reach, it's on the other side of the patterns you are still running. Here's your challenge. Pick one behavior from this video and do it today. Repair something small. Express one need plainly. Stay in a moment of discomfort instead of going cold or pulling away. One repetition is not transformation, but it is the start of it. If this gave you something to work with, subscribe. The next video keeps going.